So here is my new to me VAUXHALL Corsa C, and I've got the next few months to completely transform this car, and then one of you guys are going to win it for completely free. So if that sounds like a plan, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you do not miss a single video on the little red monster. And yes, it's a VAUXHALL Corsa, so we are going to be throwing a lot of modifications on this car. So if you do have any mod suggestions, then leave them in the comments down below right now, because I'm going to read every single comment on this video religiously. Being a £500 VAUXHALL Corsa C, this thing has got a few issues, which I will show you in this video, which of course we need to get sorted as soon as possible, and then we can start sending this car to the moon. Quickly point out, this car has already got an exhaust attached onto it, and it doesn't even sound that bad. In terms of what this car needs is basically on the outside a massive tidy up. There's some faded paintwork, you know, we need to get the residue where the previous owners debadged it. Obviously here the paint lacquer is, well, completely cooked on there, and this door handle has definitely seen better days. So on the outside it's literally just sorting out bits like that. The paintwork isn't too bad, there is a little bit of fading, but we will probably get this car machine polished at some point, or maybe even attempt to wrap this car ourselves. The worst is on the bonnet. As you can probably see in certain lights, it's very, very cloudy, along with the headlights as well, but to be honest, we'll probably just get new ones of them, because they do some nice aftermarket ones. And then in terms of the interior, it just needs a good clean, because I'm not gonna lie, it does smell a little bit, and that's because this floor is absolutely wet through, as you guys can see. Yeah, there's a problem there that I mean to sort out, and I have no idea what that is. Problem number two is the bonnet latch is cooked, meaning we can't get in the bonnet, and I need to give this car a service pretty badly, because the service light is on when you do start the engine. But overall, this VAUXHALL Corsa is not a bad little car for a whopping price of just £500, and I feel like we can completely transform this car and make it really, really cool for one of you guys to win for completely free, which is of course really exciting. And there's two things I want to get done on the VAUXHALL Corsa first before we do any of the work to it, and that is have a full detail by a professional company, get it clay barred, polished up, and see what we're actually working with behind all of these imperfections. And the next thing I want to do is give this car a good old service, because the service light is on the dashboard and we need to get it running correctly before we start putting air filters on it and all of the fun stuff. So I've got a company coming out tomorrow to detail the car, fully detail the car, so it should be looking 10 out of 10. And then we can service this car on the driveway, no problem whatsoever, saving ourselves a bit of money and learning on the job as well, which is what these kind of cars are all about. And of course, in terms of modifications, I want to give this Corsa a complete makeover and not make it a Mackie D spec. I want to make this car actually cool. So we're going to start by lowering it, adding some new shoes, and I might even have a go at wrapping this car on my driveway right here. Boys and girls, we just had this turn up for the VAUXHALL Corsa in the boot here. Bosh, we've got a new Apple CarPlay system to obviously be fitted inside here, so we can get Waze and all of the other apps on there, like Spotify and stuff. Should make driving this thing a little bit more pleasant, so that'll be installed soon. But first, what we're going to do today is we're going to get the car detailed, because I feel like when you buy a project car, that's the first thing you should do, is just give it a full clean, factory reset it, and then you know where your head's at. But yeah, the Apple CarPlay is going to replace this dingy screen here, as you can see. Plain boring, nothing really to look at. Then finally, once that's installed, we can get Waze, and I think it's even got a reverse camera on it, which is also pretty cool. But I don't know if we'll install that today, because they are quite fiddly to do, but we will definitely get round to it at some point. But yeah, next on the agenda is getting the car detailed. The lads are literally about to turn up right now to my house to give this car a full blitz over. Hopefully it'll smell a lot nicer inside of here, and the wet floor situation should be sorted out, because they can wet vac all of the water up. And then once that's sorted, I can find out where the water is coming from, and obviously get that all sealed up so it doesn't happen again, because it does pong in here and it's not very pleasant. So once the lads have been and the car's all cleaned up, we'll install the Apple CarPlay today as well, and that should be looking pucker. Oh my God, boys and girls, I cannot believe how much cleaner it is in here. The steering wheel's not grubby, it feels nice to touch. The floor isn't wet and dirty anymore. Oh my God, it's like a completely new car. So now them guys have cleaned the car and it smells so much better in here and it's actually nice and clean to sit in. We can finally fit this Apple CarPlay to the VAUXHALL Corsa C, which is going to completely transform the interior. So let's get started on that and hopefully it goes to plan. And here is the screen that we're going to be installing into the VAUXHALL Corsa C, and as you can see, that is miles better than the factory, and we'll actually be able to get Waze and Spotify on here and connect our phone straight to it, which will make those daily drives a lot easier. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to just give a quick shout out to today's sponsor of the video. In fact, they sponsor every single video that I create, and that is theinsurancehack.com. They make these free giveaways possible, and they also help you guys get cheaper car insurance. In fact, they have helped over 25,000 drivers lower their car insurance quotes, as you see on screen here, in literally minutes. And the process is completely hassle-free, because their insurance team deal with all of the hard work for you. In fact, I insure every single car I own through the Insurance Hack. It helped me save over £2,200 on my Jaguar F-Type at just 23 years old. If you have had enough of overpaying for your car insurance, click that link in my bio now. Finally, boys, finally, we managed to crack it open. That was like fighting 6 rounds of prime Mike Tyson.
I want your heart, I want to eat his children.
Yeah, that was not fun whatsoever, but the old head unit's out, so let's rest that up there. And now it's the fun part, figuring out where all of these wires go, because guess what? The instructions are not in English. And yes, it's because we ordered this from AliExpress, so what else do I expect? All of the instructions are in Chinese, so it's a guessing game. Wish me luck. Yes, this job turned out to be a little bit more of a pain than what I originally thought it would be. So it turns out that some of the wires did in fact need soldering, because it wasn't all just plug and play, which I did think it was going to be. But luckily, I am a bodge job veteran, so I managed to sort it all myself in the matter of just 3 hours. Which of course is not ideal, but at least we got the job done in the end. And I mean, let's be honest, for a £40 product, you really cannot complain. The quality is actually surprisingly good. Boys and girls, that is the worst job I've ever done in my life with all of that wire in there. I literally had to solder stuff myself. So pre-warning, if you do buy this head unit, you do have to do a fair bit of fabrication if you want all of this here to work correctly. And we haven't installed the reverse camera yet, but I will do that at some point. But let's fully finish this job first. And then, yeah, we can think about that at a later date, because that has stressed me out. I literally could have pulled my hair out. Right, so I think all we need to do now is try and push it into place without breaking anything. Okay, and bosh, just like that, it is all done. And literally, I think all you do to get onto Apple CarPlay is click Bluetooth, maybe? No, maybe not. How do you get to the Apple CarPlay? Back.
2,000 years later.
And 5 years later, I've finally found out how to work the CarPlay. You have all of the apps that you have on your iPhone. So Spotify, Google Maps, you have your normal maps as well there. Obviously your phone book. You can even have Netflix on here, but obviously only while you're parked up, not while you're driving, because that is highly illegal. But for a whopping price of £40, I think this thing is absolutely spectacular. You don't just have Apple CarPlay, it also has Android CarPlay, and it has its own like thing as well that you can use, like the radio and like all of the sat-nav stuff as well. But you literally just click play there on the right-hand side, and then that should take you obviously to your Apple CarPlay. So that's the radio now playing. And I think, okay, so I've got to reconnect my phone to then go back on the CarPlay. Yeah, boys, I can't lie, I am well happy with that. For £40 and what, a few hours of work, even though it did want to make me pull my hair out so bad. That is very, very good, and I'm very, very happy that it fits so well as well, because like sometimes these cheap entertainment screens like fit terribly. There's gaps and they creak and the buttons aren't good quality, but this is actually fantastic. And if you do have a VAUXHALL Corsa and you have a little bit of patience, I really do highly recommend grabbing yourself this device. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. If you do want the chance to win this VAUXHALL Corsa C4 completely free in the next few months when it is transformed into an absolute weapon, make sure you've hit that subscribe button, leave a mod suggestion for the VAUXHALL Corsa in the comments down below, and that automatically enters you the chance to win this car for completely free. Guys, I think it's been a very productive first episode. I've introduced you to the car, we've found out all of its problems, we've even had it detailed, and we have fitted Apple CarPlay. So I'm gonna throw it in the garage until next time, where we will be modifying this car completely from Team U car parts.